All right, first mod is going down on the Raptor. Nothing super crazy, little steering wheel action. This should kind of relatively be the same as the Mustangs. I'm guessing, but we're gonna find out in today's video. Have yet to watch one be installed. If you guys wanna check out the steering wheel company, I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinion. They didn't send any directions, first red flag. And I ordered this with the heated steering wheel to be remain in there. And they sent me some jank like this, that I have to cut wires of an $80,000 truck and wire that in. So I do not think I'm gonna be actually doing this because there's no directions. I'm not trying to mess anything up or have to cut a plug off and try to rewire. So we might be taping these off and calling that a day. So first order of business, we have to find the clips because there's 2 clips on there. And once you get the clips off, I'll be able to disconnect the battery because I think we do have to turn the wheel around a couple times just to get the clips out. All right, so normally with the F-150s and with any time you're dealing with anything with the airbag, you're gonna wanna turn this off all the time, disconnect the battery just to be safe. But for the trucks, I don't think we can because I cannot turn the wheels on this truck with the truck off or with the accessory mode on. I just feel like I'm gonna snap something. I tried and it just would not want to go. I don't know if it's the garage floor or the rubber mat, but whatever, we're sending it. So there's a little clip right back here. Let me kill my AC, I don't want that to... So there is a little clip right back here. You guys can see that hole that I'm pointing at. There's a pin in there and it's the same way on the steering wheel. You just gotta get a flathead screwdriver, just like this, push it in there, push it down. Once I disconnect the airbag and I take it off, I'll show you guys exactly once I get the steering wheel off and show you to the fullest. But yeah, let me get these clips off and pick it right back up. All right, so I didn't disconnect the battery yet. I wanted to show you guys, see how the steering wheel, the airbag is popped out. That is fully out, it's dislocated, but the only thing is you have to be super careful with this. Like I said, in my case, I couldn't turn the wheel. Other guys might have the same issue, I don't know. And if you want anything to help you out a little better too, use this extender, extend it all the way out, because I never really moved it before, and mine was really close. So if you want to get a little more space, just a little help, for some reason I thought of it, I was like, just extend it all the way out. Have a lot more room, and you can tilt your head back in and see. But yeah, airbags out. Next thing got to do is disconnect the battery. And the only thing I hate about disconnecting the battery is I'm gonna lose my Raptor, my mode, and then I'll have to redo all that. So we're gonna disconnect. I think we're gonna go with the red guy. Let's disconnect the red one. I think I disconnected that one before. I don't know what that is. That looks kind of weird. So let's do the red one. Also, when you're doing this, be careful with the metal. You don't want to connect anything or make it spark, whatever it's called. See, just like that, a little bit, it is loose. Throw the tool there. Wiggle this sucker off. Loosen up just a tad more. And Yeti's officially dead. Terminal is off. Now it's time to get the airbag off. All right, we got the airbag disconnected. Take that off, put that over to the side. And let me show you guys these clips real quick. Go into very good detail about doing this. Have to pull these out, don't pull them out all the way, and then you might just need to use the flathead just to pry them up because they were in there really tight. Also with this one right here, you do not have to remove this little thingamajig, whatever it's called, the little white pin here. All you need to do is take the flathead again, slide it right under there because that lip is right there to make sure it's locked on. Slide it under and then pop it out. It's hard to film it and do it at the same time because a lot of this little plastic stuff is brittle. It can break. And looks like there's a couple other controllers in there. There's the main right up there at the top. We gotta need to get that one out. And also there is one right here in the middle. So I'm gonna take a picture of it just to make sure everything goes back where it belongs. And yeah, looks like we got a torque spick, I think it's called, for the middle. It's actually a different size bolt compared to the Mustang. I think the Mustang one's a little bigger than this, which is kind of odd. But yeah, let's knock it out. All right, so this is another little flathead that I used. The 2 flatheads I used so far, one with a little thicker tip and then a small one. You're gonna use the small one to get all these little module, whatever, clip pieces out. There's a little tab on the top, just push it down, slide it out, and same thing with the middle one. Super, super easy. Just take your time when you're doing it. And so far, these are all the tools I used to get everything out. And let me find the exact size that we need for this. All right, so the tools you're gonna need is a T50 long extension, little ratchet, and what you're gonna do is just hold it up with your legs. And I got it majority all the way out. You do not need to torque it back. I don't know what the spec is. Every single vehicle we've ever done, we never, ever torqued it with a big torque wrench or anything or used a power tool. Mustangs, we've probably done about 5 or 6 Mustangs now. Never had the steering wheel come loose. Nothing. Did the GTR, also the GTR. GTR is a little different. You have to get an alignment after you do this, because not with the Raptors though. The Raptors, all Ford did it better than Nissan, because you see these little two guiders right there that keeps the steering wheel aligned. So the steering wheel is always aligned. I don't know why, for some reason with the GTR, you have to do an alignment after you do it, because there's no guiders. It's kind of stupid. You just literally slide it out and slide it on, and then you put the bolt in, and the steering wheel will be all whack, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, Ford did it so much better, and it is about to come out now. So I'm gonna put the camera down for you guys, and yeah, that's all the tools you need so far. All right, it feels weird. Steering wheel is finally off. The bolt did feel like it had some anti-seize on it, which is really good. Not going to do anything else to it. I got some on my fingers. I could feel it. Ford already lubricated that up, so we should be good to go. And just make sure, because this can spin freely, as you can see, just make sure it stays straight, the big controller at the top, and just when you pull it out, have someone else maybe help you hold the wires, because when I was pulling it out, the wires and this wanted to just spin around. So yeah, just be careful when you're doing that. And then now we have to take everything off this steering wheel, reassemble it on the new wheel, and then, like I said, put everything back on, plug it back in, and we should be ready to rock. Take it for a little test drive, see how, make sure everything works and how it feels. All right, I got a little carried away with disassembling it, but we got this out. So you can see all the control modules. That's a module, and that's a module right there. There's plugs on the back of each side. Be careful just when you're doing it. This might be a hard part where it is. It clips in. There's only 2 screws to take this off. I also forgot to tell you guys, you can disconnect the paddle shifters. There's one there and one right there. And then obviously you see where it goes in, pull it out just like that. Then we got to take these modules and transfer them over to this new front fascia, because we will not be using this, because the new steering wheel already has one. So like I said, that's got to come off, and this also has to come off. Pry this one out, and then start swapping everything over from that one to this one. And then once I get some things plugged up, I'll show you guys exactly what we're doing. So I am not going to recommend this steering wheel to anyone, nor I don't know any better aftermarket companies. I hit up a few Raptor guys, and I don't know why in God's name they recommended them to me. But yeah, so look at all these holes right here. That's supposed to be a drill hole right there where my thumb is. This is also supposed to be a drill hole, and that is also supposed to be a hole. For the module, like I was just showing over here, this module that has 3 screws to it. You can see 1, 2, and 3, and the black screws right there are decently long. Like that. I mean, they're not crazy long, but they're made to hold that module in place. And they're not going to do so with this one. And you can see, I'll even put this back in. It doesn't sit flush. It just doesn't even look good. Like I'm genuinely 10 out of 10 mad right now. This is just like the shit I deal with aftermarket companies, and everyone pumps them up. They say it's so good just because some people get it for free. I did not get this for free. I paid for this, waited 7.5, almost 8 weeks for this, and now here we are. My truck's all apart. The steering wheel's all apart, and yeah, I'm really pissed off. I mean, I know what I can do. I can use the stock front fascia, that one, and put that all back in, use the other wheel. But I mean, it's not what I paid for. At the end of the day, I paid for a full carbon fiber one, and that's exactly what I wanted. I even paid extra to have it in white, the decal there, and the white stripe. So now, here I am, pretty pissed off, and yeah, this is what we got to deal with. So I'm not recommending it to anyone. I'll even put in the description of which one not to buy. That's how I'm at right now. So yeah. We're gonna see if they'll make it right. Send me a new one. I mean, this is what really bothers me, is because I took time out of my day to take the truck all apart. This is not like a very it's an easy job for me, but for someone else that is not normal used to doing this stuff, it could be very difficult, and I can understand it could be stressful because with the airbag and everything. So from my perspective to yours, this is not very good. I'm pretty mad right now. So I'm gonna sit here, try to figure this out. I really didn't plan on drilling anything. I did not want to do this. I don't want to try to fix anything. And the more I keep looking at it, I keep seeing little flaws like there in the carbon fiber. Let me put this in so I can show you how it just sits first off. Look at that nice gap right there. You can see the light through it. I mean, wow. That's some great product, guys. I mean, it's clipped in there. It's not going anywhere. But I mean, wow, the fitment is just great. And I mean, I can push it and move it if I really wanted to, just like that. And see how it popped out my finger? And you'll hear it clip right back in like that. Look, it's clipped in. Now look, it's back out. All right, guys, so after me almost wanting to snap this wheel in half and have a breakdown, came to my senses and I said, you know what, let me get a little crafty with it. I had to do some super gluing because a lot of the foam pieces on this steering wheel at the bottom were all messed up and like like getting chunked, like they came off in chunks as I started touching it. And I can see, as you can see, I used the actual normal OEM front fascia because this steering wheel didn't come with anything to drill it. You can see it's fully in there now. There's still a little bit of gap towards the back of the steering wheel. Like I said, nothing is going to be like OEM from the factory, but it's done. Everything's in, the weight's in, and the weight, what I mean by the weight is the bottom. It's like a steering wheel weight, everything's plugged in. The only thing I didn't use was the heated steering wheel option. There was no directions on how to wire it in. I had an idea by looking at it, and I could use my brain a little bit, and I can understand and see how it's going to go, but I am not cutting up a Raptor steering wheel that has factory heated just to take that little plastic clip off. If I knew that was the case, I would have just went to the dealer, ordered that clip, got the part number, and I would have got a new one and put it on. That's just the way I would have did it personally. If I would have owned the company, I would have made sure it came with that clip, and I would have made sure the steering wheel would have came with directions, and I would have made sure everything fits properly and have it test fitted before it leaves the facility. But hey, that's just me. That's just the way I would run my business. But everything's back on now. Like I said, the fitment's not the best. So a lot of the screws were very, very rough going in, tight. I had to thread them in, thread them out like 4 or 5 times, etc. And yeah, here we are, final product. It is all back together. If you guys have any questions for this video, let me know in the comment section. Like easy, like when I tell you it's easy, this is so much easier than the Mustang. The Mustang was a little bit more difficult just because the pins were such a pain. And yeah, I think we have to transfer over the pins on this one. I'm not sure. I have to double check on that. That just kind of reminded me saying that because on the Mustang one, you have to transfer the pins in here because they're locked in, but I don't think these are. So we'll see once we pop it back in. So what I was talking about with the clips, so over on the Mustang, there's like these metal tabs. Like they're actually, like when I say clips, they're like super, super strong. But on the Raptor, there's like these little, like see that? They're like spring-loaded little metal pieces, which Ford, thank you for that, because that would have been the biggest, like it kills the tip of your fingers trying to get these clips out and transfer them over to the Mustang. So good thing we didn't have to do that. Ford made them built into the steering wheel. This is why genuinely, like I'm not even saying this is why I love Ford, because they realize how people modify the vehicles and make changes to them, and then they even make the changes better in order to make the installs easier for us. So shout out to Ford for that one. That one was super sweet because I was like really confused for a second. I was like, why are there's like no clips? There's no clips on the other wheel and there's no clips on this wheel. Sure enough, they're on the airbag. So these are the clips you can see that I was talking about, like from the other side. These are the clips to disengage and to engage the steering wheel. So once I put this back on, I'll have to plug this back in right there, the little red one first, which is the red one right there, and then yellow was on the right side, blue was on the left. As you can see, if we flip it around like this, and then you just got to make sure all the tabs are locked in. See how these are out? When they're out like that, that means they're open, they're not secured. So once you clip it in, then it's good. And always don't forget to plug the main wire harness back in. And this is very easy. You just have to make sure the holes line up there and there. Main wiring harness there. And I didn't hot wire, or I didn't have to cut and splice anything for the heated steering wheel. I just taped that up. I might put a little more tape on it just to secure it before I put the airbag in there, and I'll probably tuck that off underneath the side just like that so it doesn't get in the way of anything. So yeah, here we are. I mean, it looks really, really good in the truck. I love the flat top. I love the flat bottom. Gives a little more leg room. Huge fan of Alcantara. Always loved Alcantara. Sometimes I don't like it, sometimes I do, but here it is on the truck. I just figured it would go good with it because it got a little Alcantara options on here with the interior and stuff like that. So it looks good. I wish I could have customized it more. Maybe did like blue Alcantara and then blue stitching, or the red stitching or the orange stitching to kind of match. But we still have the factory OEM wheel in case you ever want to go back. And I used, like I said, I used the original front fascia. I had to do a lot of stuff off camera to make this work. Believe me, it was not a very good install. I mean, it's the product that came. It was just the product down to the product of doing this. So let me button it back up. We got to turn the truck on, make sure everything works, and let's go test it. All right, steering wheel's in. Obviously my R mode's not going to work. Just make sure everything else does. Everything's plugged in. Go back to that. We don't need that. Actually, let me just go. I use Raptor Info. Raptor Info is the best one. Then you get Raptor Status. And of course, it's not popping up. I think I got to go down. Yep, there it is, measurements. If you guys ride around your Raptor, I don't know if you guys like to keep an eye on everything, but measurements shows everything. Engine oil pressure, air temperature, air charge temperature is the air that's coming into the motor, transmission temp, vacuum and boost, and battery voltage. You can also change them up. There's a bunch of other ones. I always keep an eye on my trans when I'm towing. Usually if I'm towing, I usually just keep that one on. Make sure the 10 speed doesn't get crazy hot. tire pressure. Everything's got to reload. In case you guys are also wondering how to set my mode, or what my mode actually is for the R, or the Mustangs it's called my mode, but in the Raptors it's called R mode. So pretty much what I do is Baja suspension, and this is pretty much just what I put on my way to work. Just makes the ride so much better. And then put everything, configure it how you want. I think also I'm going to change the steering to sport. I haven't done that, so we'll do that. I really wish I could save traction control off, so if, as soon as I hit this, it would turn it off completely. Let's see if it actually does that. Hold for advanced track, because I like to party sometimes, and yeah, it's usually what I do. So initially, just hold the R button, saving my current setting for my mode. Yep, and that's it. Well, Yeti feels good, steering wheel feels pretty good so far. You know, I must say, the only reason I really wanted this steering wheel, I said really like 5 times there. If y'all rewind that was actually kind of funny. So the real reason I wanted this is because the C8 steering wheel had a flat top and a flat bottom. And I fell in love with it. I mean, this might look weird. People might, I mean, it's not a crazy flat top, but I'm telling y'all this. I don't know, I drive a lot, and for some reason my hand always cramps up when I'm holding the steering wheel, or usually I'll go here, or sometimes I'll just hold the bottom. So now, having the flat top, it's just like, it's meant to be. It's perfectly smooth. You can rest your hand perfectly flush on the top, and it just feels great. The thickness of the wheel feels good. Everything about it feels good. The only thing, like I said before, that was pretty bad was just the front fascia. Major issue with that. They need to get that fixed with the company. I already reached out to them middle of making this video. I was so mad. So we'll see what they do if they want to make it right. I'll keep you all posted of that if you guys want to go over, follow me on Instagram. Same with the YouTube, and we'll see. Let me check the paddle shifters, make sure they work. Put her over in manual mode, and first upshift. Oh wait, I don't think I actually put in manual mode, did I not? There it goes, now it's selected. Let's do second gear. Oh, all right, let's actually do a second gear roll. Ready? Short shifted her. Come on, Yeti. I touched the rev limiter just a little bit and it hesitated. I was so close to the red. It wasn't like super close, but paddle shifters work really good. Everything's back, obviously same, but they are more responsive. That's why I put it over in sport mode, in case y'all noticed the dash little change up and it went out of my mode. But yeah, sport mode does feel really good with this truck. But yeah, now you can see the dash a lot more clear. Over the circle, looks more presentable. Love the white stitch at the top, match the truck. The downshifts, look how quick it is in sport. If anyone from Ford is watching this, can you just please make the drivability like how it is in sport? Like, it's so much better. Like, let me pop it out in manual mode. Goes right back, truck will upshift. Sport mode is like, it's so sophisticated, it's so smart. It does such a good job at it. All right, guys, there it is. That is the install for Yeti. First Yeti, I want to say mod, kind of done. So if you guys are new here and you like Ford content, I guess you could say Raptor, Mustang, stuff like that. This is Apollo 2020 Mustang GT. And what's usually sitting right here is my 2020 Shelby GT500 known as Zeus. We will be getting that car back hopefully very soon. Fuel system is finished. New supercharger, or should I say ported supercharger, is mounted. Everything's back on the car, just wiring up the fuel system now, and should be ready to rock very soon, and getting it ready for Mustang Week this year. I will be driving the Shelby there and back. We'll be on pump gas, and then once I get the car back, we will be throwing on E85 and turning it up and do some serious racing in Mexico with it. So much love as always, guys. Thank you guys so much. Hit the link in the description, run up the merch for me like always. Godspeed. I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Everybody waiting for the come up. I ain't sharing one thing. Yeah. I'ma keep on working till the sun up. Till I get my rollie and my chain. Yeah. Down in my life when I dropped out of class and a fuck you to college, they scamming your ass and